back to another video. It's Lydia. Thanks for tuning in, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I would love you if you do, and hit that bell button too to be a part of the notification crew. And notification squad, comment down below, let me know if you're here so I can show you some love. But for today's video, I'm doing a little tips video. I haven't done like a tips and tricks type of video in a little while. I've mostly been doing like reviews and other videos like that, and I've kind of missed doing tips and tricks types of videos, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking for me to do a video about how I keep my hair humidity proof now that we're basically right smack in the middle of the summer and it's getting hot and it's getting humid like crazy. And essentially I just wanted to share with you guys the things that I like to do to ensure that my hair doesn't turn into a huge poof ball. So let's just jump right in. I know I'm wearing like a little tube top for today's video, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna ask because everyone always asks me whenever I have like my chest out or anything like that. Right here on my right shoulder, it's a birthmark. This is just a birthmark that I've had since I was like a kid, like an infant basically. So for those of you guys who are wondering, this is just a birthmark, that's all. But now let's just jump into the first tip. So the first tip that I have to keep your hair humidity proof is that whenever you're done styling it, make sure that it's completely dry before you go outside. If you go out with your hair wet and before it's actually been able to like set itself, the moisture from the air is just gonna pull out all the moisture from the products and that's going on in your hair, and it's just gonna turn into a frizzy, poofy mess. So if you can, really try to make sure that your hair is completely dry. Even if you need to use a diffuser or anything like that, try to just make sure that your hair is completely dry before you go outside and step into the humid weather. My next tip would be to rock a wash and go, and if you're not a huge wash and go fan, at least opt for a hairstyle that's similar to your hair texture, whether it's a braid out or a twist out. I know for me, whenever I do wear hairstyles, for instance like a wash and go, I wear my hair in a wash and go form pretty much 99.999% of the time. I notice that when my curls are in its most natural state, it doesn't tend to get frizzy as often, which leads to my next tip, which is essentially to avoid blowouts and straightening your hair as often as possible. I know for me, back like when I was in high school, like years and years ago, when I would straighten my hair, I would literally be terrified of the humidity because I knew as soon as I stepped out, my hair would start to get poofy, the blowout or however straight my hair was, it would completely just go away. So yeah, my tip to you all would be just try to avoid blowouts and, you know, straightening your hair, especially if you do live in a humid climate or it's just super humid where you are on a particular day. And my next tip would be to use a product with hold, and for me, whenever I use like products with hold like a gel or a jelly, what it does for my curls is that it helps create a barrier. I like to use gels and jellies, and if you're not the type of person that really likes the feeling of gels and jellies, try to find a soft hold gel that won't leave your hair too crunchy. But I know for me, if my hair is even a slight bit crunchy, I'm okay with that sometimes, especially if I know I'm gonna be going outside in the humid weather, because the humidity is just gonna end up, you know, making my hair frizzy if I don't have any hold. So really try to make sure that you use some type of product with some type of hold. If you don't like gels, maybe even try using like a holding hairspray, but try to watch out for ingredients and make sure that it's not too harsh in your hair and it doesn't have too much alcohol, because that won't be that great for your hair either. But yeah, moral of the story, just try to use a product with hold. And while we're on the topic of products, I want you guys to know that when you do put products on your hair, less is more. I know for me personally, I can be so heavy-handed when it comes to putting products in my hair, but that's the last thing you want to do when it comes to going out in humid weather. One, it's just going to take your hair forever to dry if you're going in with a bunch of products at a time and you're just super heavy-handed with your products. So really just remember that less is more. It'll speed up the drying process, and it also will create less buildup on your hair. And usually if you have a lot of buildup on your hair, that's preventing moisture from coming in. So that way when you go outside, your hair is going to be thirsty and searching for that moisture in the air, and that's just going to cause your hair to get frizzy. You know what I'm saying? And next, I want you guys to remember to deep condition. Deep condition regularly if you can. You don't have to deep condition every day, but at least make it a point to deep condition once a week. I know for me, if I don't deep condition, my hair gets dry, and when my hair is dry, it looks to the, you know, the outside elements, aka the humid weather and the moisture in the air, to get, you know, moisture into my hair, and that's what causes frizz. So if you make sure that your hair is adequately moisturized with a deep conditioner, you know, moisturizing products, whatever, your hair won't gravitate towards the outside elements to bring in moisture into your hair, and it won't get frizzy. So just remember, deep condition your hair regularly, make sure that your hair is properly moisturized so that way it won't dry out, and look for the humid weather to bring in some moisture. And next, I want you guys to remember to not overwash your hair. I know we're in the summertime and I know it can get humid and it's easy for your hair to feel gross, but you don't want to overwash it. Now, I'm not saying don't wash it, because that's just as bad. That's how you get buildup in your hair and that ain't cute, but you want to make sure that you're not overwashing your hair, because that'll just dry out your hair, and that's the last thing you want. Like I mentioned before, you want to keep as much moisture in your hair. So basically what I'm saying, for those of you guys who go outside for a walk one day and you notice, your hair feels a little bit gross, rather than just going in with the most clarifying shampoo, maybe just try rinsing out your hair with water, or maybe using a gentle shampoo, or even like a co-wash or something like that. Just don't overwash your hair too much, especially in the summertime, because the heat, the sun, all of the elements will definitely dry it out. And if all else fails, just rock your hair in like a low slick back bun or a low slick back ponytail. That's what I do if I know I'm not having a good hair day and I'm about to go out into the humid weather, just so I don't have to worry about fussing over my curls and making sure that each curl is in place or anything like that. So if all else fails, just rock your hair in like a low slick back bun or a low slick back ponytail. And yeah, those are basically all my tips and tricks that I have for you all to make sure that your hair stays humidity proof, that this humid weather, this humid as hell weather, because where I live, it gets so sticky and so gross in the summertime, especially after it rains. So I really hope these tips are helpful for you if you live in a humid climate, or if it just happens to be humid on a particular day and you really want to make sure that your curls and your hair stay intact. But I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you made it all the way to the end of this video, you're a real one. And be sure to comment the word humidity down below. Come on, we have to. This video is about keeping your hair humidity proof, so comment the word humidity down below with maybe some water droplet emojis or something like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe. I would love you if you do. I won't hate you if you don't, but I would love you if you do, and share this with a friend too if you want to. But thank you again, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.